Hello, my wonderful friend. Welcome to VUS Learning English Podcast. My name is Anna. I am so happy you are here with me today. If this is your first time listening, a big warm welcome to you. I am so glad you found us. And if you are a returning listener, thank you for coming back. It is so good to be with you again, my friend. Today, we are going to talk about something very, very important. It is a topic that can help us feel better every single day. We are going to talk about our minds. We will talk about our brains. And we will talk about how to make them feel strong and clear and happy. Sometimes life can feel very busy. Our minds can feel tired. They can feel full. Maybe they feel like a foggy day when you cannot see clearly. But we can change that. I want you to know that you have the power to change that. Today, we will learn some simple, gentle ways to help our brains feel bright and sunny again. It will be a calm and hopeful journey, and I will be with you for every step. So please find a comfortable place. Maybe you are sitting on a soft chair. Maybe you're walking outside in nature. Maybe you have a warm cup of tea or coffee. Just relax your body. Take a gentle breath in and a slow breath out. Just listen to my voice. There's nothing else you need to do right now. Thank you. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time here with me. It truly means the world to me. If you enjoy our time together today and you want to help our little community grow, you can do a very simple thing. You can tap the like button, or you can follow or subscribe to the channel. It is a very easy and fast way to support us. It helps other English learners, maybe just like you, find a safe and friendly place to learn. And I'm always so curious about you. I love to imagine where you are in the world as you listen. Where are you listening from today? Are you in a country in Europe like Spain or Germany? Are you in Asia, maybe in India or Vietnam? Are you in North or South America, like Mexico or Canada or Brazil? I would love to know. You can write the name of your city or country in the comments below. It always makes me so happy to see our global family connecting here. Okay. Are you feeling comfortable? Are you feeling ready? Let's begin our gentle journey together. Have you ever had a day like this? You are trying to read something. Maybe it is a book or an article online. You read one sentence, then you read it again, and then you read it a third time. But the words just do not go into your brain. Your mind is somewhere else. Or maybe this has happened to you. You walk into a room in your house. You walk into the kitchen. You stand there for a moment, and you think, why did I come here? What did I need? You completely forget why you walked into the room, or maybe you feel this. Your day has just started. It is still morning, but you already feel so tired. A big wave of exhaustion just hits you. You have not even done very much, but you feel like you have no energy. Maybe you sit down at your desk. You have one simple thing to do. Just one task. But your mind feels messy. It feels like a computer with 100 windows open. All of the windows are flashing. All of them want your attention at the same time. It feels impossible to choose just one thing. It feels impossible to focus. When these things happen, what do you tell yourself? Maybe you say, "Oh, I am just stressed." Or, I did not sleep well last night. You might blame it on a busy week at work. Or you might think, well, I am just getting older. We find many reasons to explain these feelings. But what if it is something else? What if there is a different reason for this foggy feeling in your mind? A deeper reason? What if a simple, small habit that you do every single day? A habit that feels normal. A habit that feels as natural as breathing. What if that little habit is making your brain weaker? What if it is slowly hurting your brain's power to think and to focus and to remember things and to make good decisions? For many years, scientists who study the brain have been watching us. They have been sounding a quiet alarm. They see a trend. They see that our ability to think clearly is changing, and it is not changing for the better. They have looked at many, many brain scans. They have done thousands of tests on people's thinking, and they have found one daily habit that is a very big problem. It is a main reason for what some people now call brain fog or cognitive decline. This just means our brains are not working as well as they should. But here's the most important part. This is the hopeful part. The scientists also found out why this happens, and they have a simple plan to help us fix it. They have a plan to reverse the damage. This is not about you being lazy. This is not about you being unmotivated. It is about your brain. Your amazing brain is being trained every day. Slowly, quietly, it is being trained to be distracted. But today, that training stops. Today, we start a new training, a better training, a training for focus and for clarity and for strength. So let's talk about this habit. Let's bring it out into the light. What is this habit that is so bad for us? This secret enemy that has become a normal part of our lives? It is not your telephone. Your smartphone is just a tool. It is not the internet. The internet is just a tool. It is not technology. Technology is just a tool. The real problem is how we use these tools. The habit that is quietly making your brain weaker is a special kind of habit. We can call it disordered digital consumption. That sounds very technical, I know. Let's make it simple. It means using our phones and computers in a way that is messy and unhealthy for our brains. This is not about the good things we do. It is not about calling your mother or your father. It is not about looking up a delicious recipe for dinner. Those things are wonderful. This is about a specific pattern, a specific way of behaving. It is like a reflex. A reflex is something you do without thinking, like when a doctor taps your knee and your leg kicks. You do not decide to kick. It just happens. Millions and millions of us have developed this reflex with our phones. This messy habit has 3 main faces. It shows up in 3 main ways. As I describe them, I want you to be very honest with yourself. Be gentle, but be honest. See if you feel a little flash of recognition. See if you think, I do that. The first face of this habit is something we can call the app-hopping reflex. Hopping means jumping from one place to another. App hopping is jumping from one app to another, to another, to another. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine this scenario. You pick up your phone, You have a clear reason. You have a purpose. Maybe you need to reply to one important email. Your boss is waiting for it. It is a clear, simple task. So you unlock your phone. Your finger is ready to tap the email icon, but then your eyes see something else. On another app, you see a little red circle with a number in it. It is a notification. It tells you there is something new waiting for you in that app. Suddenly, your brain feels a little spark, a tiny spark of curiosity. You think, I wonder what that is. Is it a message? Is it a comment? You tell yourself a little story. You say, I will just check it for 1 second. Just one tiny second. It will be super fast. Then I promise I will go write that important email. So you change your plan. You tap on the other app, the one with the little red circle. You open it. It is a message from a friend. Okay, you read the message. It feels good to hear from your friend. You think, I should reply now. I do not want to be rude. So you type a quick reply. Now you are already inside this app, and while you are there, another thought comes. I am here already. I might as well just check my feed for a minute. Just a quick look. So you start to scroll with your thumb. You see a nice photo from someone's vacation. You see a funny video of a dog. It makes you smile. Then you see another video, and another one catches your eye. Each one is short. Each one is easy to watch. Suddenly you look up. You look at the clock on the wall. You realize that 10 minutes have gone by. Or maybe 15 minutes. Wow, time went so fast. You lock your phone and put it down. You feel a little bit strange. A little bit uneasy. You're not sure why. You sit back down at your desk, ready to work? And then it hits you. You remember the email. The important email, you never replied to it. Do you see what happened? You picked up your phone to do one thing, one planned thing, but you did 5 other things instead, 5 unplanned things. This is the app-hopping reflex. This fast, unconscious switching from one app to another. It trains your brain. It teaches your brain a bad lesson. It teaches your brain to never stay in one place. It trains your brain to always hunt for the next new thing, the next little surprise, the next tiny piece of information. And this makes it very, very hard to focus on one thing for a long time. Okay, let's talk about the second face of this messy habit. We can call this one the Siren Song of the infinite scroll. In old stories, sirens were beautiful creatures who sang a song. Their song was so beautiful that sailors could not resist it. They would crash their ships on the rocks because they followed the song. The infinite scroll is like that siren song for our brains. This is when you fall into a digital rabbit hole. You start scrolling, and you just cannot stop. This usually happens on apps with endless, algorithm-powered feeds. Apps with short videos, like on TikTok or Instagram Reels. These apps are made by very smart people. They are designed to be frictionless. Frictionless means there is nothing to stop you. Think about reading a book. A book has chapters. When you finish a chapter, there is a natural stopping point. You can put the bookmark in and close the book. But with these short video feeds, there is no stopping point. There is no end. The next video just starts playing automatically. You do not have to do anything. It just happens. The algorithm, the computer program, is choosing the videos for you. It learns what you like. It shows you more and more of what you like. Each little video is a small burst of emotion. One video makes you laugh. The next video makes you feel surprised. The next video might make you feel a little angry. Humor, shock, outrage, little emotional hits, one after another after another. And before you know it, 45 minutes have disappeared from your life. An hour has vanished. Where did the time go? You were just sitting there, scrolling. This behavior is sometimes called zombie scrolling. A zombie is a creature that walks around but has no mind. It has no thoughts. When you are zombie scrolling, you are not really in control. The algorithm is in control. The app is in control. It has taken over your brain's reward system. It keeps feeding you these little video candies. And what happens after you finally stop? How do you feel? Do you feel energized? Do you feel smart? Do you feel rested? No. Usually you feel the opposite. You feel mentally tired. You feel drained. Your brain feels foggy. It is strange because you did not do anything difficult. You were just watching videos, but you feel exhausted. That is the siren song of the infinite scroll. And now for the third face of this habit. This one might be the most damaging of all. It is very, very common. We can call it the morning mistake. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? Before your feet even touch the floor? Before you have said good morning to anyone? What does your hand reach for? For millions of us, the answer is our phone. The alarm goes off. We reach over to the nightstand. We grab our phone and we open our eyes. And the very first thing our eyes see is the bright light of a screen. In that one moment, your peaceful morning is over. Your brain, which was resting and repairing itself all night, your brain is immediately flooded. It is flooded with information. It is flooded with other people's needs. You see notifications. You see headlines from the news. You see emails from your work. You see the beautiful, perfect, curated lives of other people on social media. Your brain, in its calmest and most creative state of the day, is instantly thrown into chaos. It is thrown into a reactive mode. Reactive means you are only responding to things. You are not in control. The world is telling you what to think about. Your phone is telling you what is important. When you do this, you are giving away the best part of your day. You are giving away your best morning focus. You give it all to your phone before your day has even started. And then you spend the rest of the day just trying to catch up, just trying to get back a feeling of control. But it is very hard because you started the day in chaos. That is the morning mistake. So these are the three faces. The App-Hopping Reflex, the Siren Song of the Infinite Scroll, and the morning mistake. They are a toxic trifecta. Trifecta means a group of three things. A toxic trifecta of disordered digital consumption. They feel normal, don't they? They feel normal because it seems like everyone is doing them. You see people doing it on the bus. You see it in cafes. You see it at the dinner table. But scientists are now confirming that the effect of these habits, when you add them all up over time, is very big and very bad for our brains. Think of it like water and a rock. Imagine a big, hard rock. If one single drop of water falls on the rock, what happens? Nothing. The rock is not changed. But what happens if trillions and trillions of drops of water fall on that same spot on the rock? Every day for many years? A canyon is formed? The water can carve a huge canyon through the hard rock. It is the same with our brains. Each mindless scroll on your phone is one little drop of water. Each time you switch apps for no reason, it is one little drop of water. One drop does nothing, but you do it hundreds or thousands of times every day. And all those little drops are wearing away at your ability to think. They are carving a canyon in your cognitive capacity. I want to be very clear about something. This is not a flaw in your character. You are not a bad person because you do this. You are not weak. It is a normal, predictable response. We are living in an environment that is designed to make us do this. These apps and technologies are engineered to keep us hooked, to keep us scrolling and tapping. But now you know. Now the secret is out. And when you know what is happening, you can start to take your power back. To really understand why this is so important, we need to look a little closer. We need to understand what is happening inside your brain when you are doing these habits. Because the changes are not just a feeling, they are real, they are physical, they are chemical, and they are structural. Let's talk about the science, but in a very simple way. Let's call this Part A, the hijacked reward system. Hijacked means someone takes control of something that is not theirs, like a pirate hijacking a ship. Your brain has a very powerful system to help you live. It is called the reward system, and it runs on a special chemical. You may have heard of it. The chemical is called dopamine. People often call dopamine the pleasure molecule, but it is more helpful to think of it as the motivation molecule. Dopamine is the chemical that motivates you to do things. It makes you want to seek rewards. When you are hungry, dopamine makes you want to go find food. The food is the reward. When you are thirsty, dopamine makes you want to go find water. The water is the reward. This system is very important for survival. But here's the problem. The way that short-form videos and social media feeds are designed, they have hacked this system. They have hijacked our dopamine system. Every time you scroll to a new video, every time you see a new picture, it is a little surprise. You do not know what is coming next. Will it be funny? Will it be interesting? Will it be shocking? This unpredictability gives your brain a tiny, tiny hit of stimulation, a tiny little reward. This creates something called a feedback loop. It is a circle. You scroll. Action. You get a tiny reward. Stimulation. Your brain likes the reward, so it wants more. Craving. So you scroll again. Action. And the loop continues. Scroll, reward, crave, scroll, reward, crave. It is a dopamine-driven feedback loop. Let's use an analogy. An analogy is a simple story to explain a complex idea. Imagine you are training a dog. You want to teach the dog a very important trick. You want to teach the dog to sit patiently and quietly for 1 whole minute. This is a difficult trick. It requires focus and patience. You have 2 ways to train the dog. Method 1. You can ask the dog to sit still for the whole minute. And if the dog does it, at the end of the minute, you give it a big, delicious, special treat. A real meal. Method 2. You could get a bag of tiny, low-value crumbs. Not a real treat, just tiny specks of food. And for the whole minute, while the dog is supposed to be sitting still, you keep tossing it one tiny crumb. Then another, over and over again. Now think about it. If you use method 2, will the dog ever learn to sit still and be patient? No, of course not. The dog will be in a constant state of excitement and anticipation. Its head will be moving around, frantically looking for the next crumb. It will never learn the deep focus required to wait for the big treat. In this story, your brain is the dog. The endless scroll of videos and posts is the constant stream of tiny, low-value crumbs. And the complex trick you want to teach your brain, the trick of deep, focused work. The ability to read a book or write a report or have a meaningful conversation. That is the big, delicious meal that your brain never gets to enjoy. Your brain becomes conditioned. It becomes trained to always want constant, shallow, easy stimulation. It forgets how to work for the deeper, more meaningful satisfaction. The satisfaction that comes from sustained effort and focus. Your reward system has been hijacked by the crumbs. Okay, let's move to part B. Let's call this the starving prefrontal cortex. Starving means not getting enough food. So we just learned about the dopamine system. That is the impulsive part of your brain. The part that says, I want it now, more crumbs. But you have another very important part of your brain. It is called the prefrontal cortex. Let's call it the PFC for short. The PFC is located right at the front of your head, behind your forehead. And it is the opposite of the impulsive system. The PFC is like the CEO of your brain. A CEO is the boss of a company. The PFC is the boss of your brain. It is responsible for all the important grown-up jobs. Things like long-term planning, making smart decisions, controlling your impulses, and, very importantly, directing your focus. When you have an important project to finish, and a notification pops up on your phone, and you make the choice to ignore the notification and stay focused on your work, that is your PFC working. That is the CEO saying, no, we have a goal. We need to stay on task. But here's the problem. There's a battle in your brain. A battle between the impulsive, crumb-seeking system and the wise CEO, the PFC. When the dopamine system is in hyperdrive, when it is going crazy from constant scrolling and app hopping, the prefrontal cortex gets weaker. It gets suppressed. It is like the loud, frantic, novelty-seeking intern is shouting in the office. And the CEO cannot think. The CEO cannot be heard. This is why you feel so scattered and unfocused after a long time of scrolling. It is not just a feeling. It is a biological fact. Your PFC is temporarily weaker. Your ability to control your impulses is lower. Your ability to make good decisions gets worse. You become more reactive to the world and less able to proactively control your own mind. That feeling of picking up your phone to do one thing and ending up somewhere else completely. That is not a failure of your willpower. It is a symptom. It is a symptom of a temporarily tired and suppressed prefrontal cortex. Your brain's CEO is taking a forced coffee break. And now for the last part of the science. Part C. This is the most serious and alarming part. Let's call it the physical remodeling of your brain. Remodeling means changing the structure of a house. This is about changing the physical structure of your brain. What we have been talking about so far are temporary chemical changes. But if these habits are practiced for months and years, they can lead to real, measurable physical changes in the structure of your brain. This is where the scary phrase, brain rot, stops being just internet slang. It starts to sound like a chillingly accurate description of what might be happening. Brain imaging studies where scientists take pictures of the brain have found something very interesting. They have found a direct connection between how much a person does media multitasking and the density of their gray matter. Media multitasking is when you are trying to use many forms of media at once, like texting while watching TV, while a YouTube video plays on your laptop. Gray matter is the part of your brain with all the important brain cells. More gray matter is generally better. What did the studies find? They found that people who do a lot of heavy media multitasking have reduced gray matter density. They have less gray matter in a specific, very important part of the brain. This area is called the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC. That is another technical name, I know. Let's make it simple. Think of your ACC as your brain's mental gear shifter, like the gear shifter in a car. It helps you move your attention from one thing to another smoothly and with control. It helps you decide what to pay attention to. It helps you ignore distractions. It helps you control your emotional responses. It is a very, very important brain region for focus and self-control. And the research shows that people who constantly switch their attention between different media have less brain tissue in this exact area. The mental gear shifter is smaller and weaker. Now, in science, we say that correlation does not equal causation. This means that just because two things are linked, it doesn't mean one causes the other. But the link is very strong, and it is very, very concerning. Your brain has an amazing ability. It is called neuroplasticity. It is a beautiful word. Neuro means brain. Plasticity means it can change. It is flexible. Your brain is not fixed like a rock. It is more like a muscle. It reorganizes itself to become better at whatever you ask it to do. If you practice playing the piano every day, your brain will change. It will build stronger connections to help you play the piano better. If you practice learning a new language every day, your brain will change to help you speak that language. But what are we asking our brains to do for hours and hours every single day? We are asking our brains to be distracted. We are practicing the skill of distraction. So our brains, in their incredible wisdom, are adapting. They are reorganizing themselves to become very, very good at being distracted. The brain is just doing what it is told. Okay, we have talked about the habit. We have talked about the science. Now, it is time for a quiet moment. A moment of honest self-reflection. Let's do a little diagnosis. Let's see if this is affecting you. This cognitive decline, this brain fog, it does not happen in one day. It is a slow, creeping fog that comes in little by little. It can be hard to notice. So let's make it more concrete. I am going to describe 6 common feelings or experiences. As I read them, just notice. Notice how many of them feel familiar to you, and please be kind to yourself. There is no judgment here. First sign, you cannot read more than a page or 2 of a book. You sit down, you want to read, you love reading, but after 1 page, your mind feels restless. It feels itchy. Your eyes move across the words on the page, but the meaning does not enter your mind. And there is a feeling, a nagging feeling in the back of your head. A feeling that you are missing something important online. An urge, a strong desire to just check your phone. That urge is a classic symptom. It is a symptom of a brain that has been trained away from the slow, deep, linear focus that reading requires. It wants the fast, easy crumbs of the internet instead. Second sign, you frequently lose your train of thought. Sometimes it happens right in the middle of a sentence. You are talking to a friend or a colleague, you are explaining something, and suddenly, poof, it is gone. The idea has vanished from your mind. You are left standing there feeling a bit silly, saying, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. If you notice this happening more and more, it suggests a problem with your working memory. Your working memory is like your brain's workbench. It's where you hold thoughts while you work with them. And this is one of the first things to be impacted by these digital habits. Third sign, you open your phone for one specific thing, but you do 5 other things and completely forget your original purpose. We talked about this one. You need to check the weather. It is a simple 10-second task, but you get pulled into a tornado of notifications, messages, and social media posts. When you finally look up from your phone, 15 minutes are gone, and you still do not know if you need to bring an umbrella. You never checked the weather. This is a very clear sign of weakened impulse control. Your brain's CEO, the PFC, is not able to keep you on task. Fourth sign, you feel mentally exhausted after doing tasks that used to be easy. Simple things, like replying to a few emails, or making a grocery list, or planning your weekend. These tasks now feel like climbing a huge mountain. They feel overwhelming. This kind of mental exhaustion is a hallmark of digital burnout. Your brain is so used to the super high, intense stimulation of the internet. That normal everyday life feels boring and draining in comparison. It takes more energy to do simple things. Fifth sign, you find yourself with dozens of browser tabs open on your computer, but you have no real plan. You start working on a project with maybe 2 or 3 tabs open, but very soon you have 15 tabs open, then 20. There's a news article you wanted to read. There is a YouTube video someone sent you. There is a shopping website with a sale. There is a Wikipedia page about something interesting. You are not really achieving anything. You are just creating digital clutter. And that digital clutter on your screen is a perfect mirror of the clutter inside your mind. And the 6th final sign, you feel mentally foggy for most of the day. This is not a specific action, but a general feeling. Your thoughts do not feel sharp and clear and precise. They feel muddy. They feel slow and heavy. This subjective feeling, this brain fog, is the feeling of a brain that is struggling. It is struggling under the weight of constant cognitive overload. It is just too much information all the time. So, how did you do? Did you recognize yourself in some of those signs? If you recognized yourself in 3 of them, or 4, or maybe even all 6, you are not alone, not at all. This is a silent epidemic. An epidemic is a problem that affects a huge number of people. Millions and millions of good, smart, hard-working people all over the world are feeling this way. So please do not feel ashamed. You are a normal person having a normal reaction to an abnormal environment. And the second thing I have to say is the most important message of our entire time together today. Are you ready? Here it is. This is reversible. Let me say that again because I want it to sink deep into your heart. The cognitive problems you are feeling, the brain fog, the poor memory, the lack of focus, they are not permanent damage. This is a training problem. Remember neuroplasticity? The brain's amazing ability to change? The same neuroplasticity that trained your brain for distraction can be used to retrain it for focus and strength. What can be trained can be retrained. You have the power within you. You have the ability to rebuild what has been worn away. You can clear the fog. You can strengthen your mind. And that process of retraining, of rebuilding, it starts right now. Knowing there is a problem is the first step, but having a plan is everything. So now we are going to talk about the plan. I am going to give you a simple, clear, step-by-step plan to reclaim your brain, to take back control. These 5 steps are based on science. They are an evidence-based protocol to systematically retrain your brain and reverse the cognitive decline we've talked about. Think of it as a prescription, not a prescription for medicine, a prescription for a healthier, happier, clearer mind. Are you ready for the plan? Let's go. Step 1 is the foundation. It is the base of everything. It is the single most powerful change you can make. And it begins the moment you wake up. Step 1 is implement no scroll mornings. A morning with no scrolling on your phone. The rule is simple. For the first hour of your day, you have a strict no screen policy. No phone, no tablet, no laptop, no television. For 1 hour, 60 minutes. Why does this work so well? Remember what we said about the morning? When you first wake up, your brain is in a very special state. It is soft and suggestible. It is like wet clay. If you immediately flood your brain with the reactive chaos of the digital world, the news, the emails, the social media, you are setting your attention for the entire day to distracted. You are shaping the clay into a messy, chaotic sculpture. But if you protect that first golden hour, you allow your brain's CEO, the prefrontal cortex, to wake up calmly and peacefully. You start the day in a proactive state, not a reactive one. You are the one who decides what is important. You are shaping the clay into a beautiful, focused sculpture. You are setting the tone for a day of clarity. So how do you actually do this? Because habits are strong. The key is to change your environment. Do not rely on willpower alone. Buy an old-fashioned alarm clock. A simple clock that just tells the time and makes a noise. They cost very little money. This is the most important tool. Why? Because it allows you to do the next thing. Charge your phone overnight in another room. not next to your bed, maybe in the kitchen or in the living room. This creates physical friction. Friction makes the bad habit harder to do. When you wake up, you cannot just reach for your phone. You would have to get out of bed and walk to another room. This gives you a moment to pause and remember your goal. Now, what do you do in that first hour instead? Place a book or a journal by your bed. When you wake up, read a few pages of the book. Or write down your thoughts, your dreams, your goals for the day. Drink a big glass of water. Do some gentle stretching. Meditate for a few minutes. Or just sit by a window with a cup of coffee and watch the world wake up. Just sit with your own thoughts. I will be honest with you. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. It might even feel boring. You will feel that itch to check your phone. But I want you to know that this discomfort, this boredom, it is a good sign. It is the feeling of your brain healing. It is the feeling of withdrawal from a drug. Stay with it. It will pass. And on the other side is peace. Okay, that was step 1. No scroll mornings. Now for step 2, the workout. Step 2 is practice deep work intervals. Focus is a muscle. It truly is. If you do not use your focus muscle, it gets weak. It atrophies. But if you train it, it gets stronger. And the best way to train it is with short, focused, intense workouts. These are often called deep work intervals or the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato because the inventor used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Why does this work? By forcing yourself to focus on a single task with no distractions, you are doing a workout for your brain. You are directly strengthening your prefrontal cortex. You are lifting a mental weight. You are teaching your brain, hey, look, you can do this. You are capable of sustained attention. Every focused interval you complete is 1 rep for your focus muscle. So, how do you do it? It is very simple. Start small. If you have not focused for a long time, do not try to work for 2 hours. That is like trying to run a marathon without training. Start with 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Whatever feels possible for you. Choose 1 task. Just 1. Not 5 things. 1 thing. Maybe it is answer 1 email. Or write 1 paragraph of my report. Or wash the dishes. Then you set a timer for your chosen time. 10 or 15 minutes. You put your phone on silent mode. Even better, put it in another room. Out of sight, out of mind. You close all the extra tabs on your computer. For that block of time, you have 1 job. You do nothing but that 1 single task. If your mind wanders, and it will, you gently bring it back, again and again. When the timer rings, you stop. You have completed 1 rep. Congratulations. Now you take a short break, maybe 5 minutes. And this is crucial. Do not grab your phone on your break. If you do that, you undo all the good work you just did. Instead, get up. Walk around the room, stretch your body, look out the window, get a glass of water, let your brain rest for a few minutes. Then you can start your next interval. Gradually, over days and weeks, you can try to increase the time. Maybe you go from 15 minutes to 20, then to 25. You are building your focus muscle rep by rep. Step 3, the brain booster. This is a specific exercise you can do. Step 3 is commit to dual and back training. This sounds very technical, but let me explain it simply. While deep work helps retrain your habits, This is a specific exercise to target and improve your working memory. Remember the mental workbench we talked about? This exercise makes that workbench stronger and bigger. It is one of the few brain training games that has some real scientific evidence behind it. Many studies have shown that it can improve working memory, which is the foundation for focus and problem solving. Why does it work? The game forces you to track two different things at the same time. You have to track a visual piece of information, something you see, and an auditory piece of information, something you hear. It is like a heavy weightlifting session for your brain. It is very challenging. It forces your working memory to expand its capacity. How do you do it? You can find free versions of this game online or on app stores. Just search for Dual and Back. Here is what the game is like. You will see a square moving to different positions on a grid. At the same time, you will hear spoken letters. Your job is to press a button if the current position of the square is the same as it was and steps ago. And you press a different button if the current letter you hear is the same as it was in steps ago. You start with n equals 1. So 1 back. This means you press the button if the square's position is the same as the one just before it. This is pretty easy. Then you move up to 2 back. Now you have to remember what the position and letter were 2 steps ago. This is much harder. The goal is to work your way up. Aim to do this for about 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe every other day. I will tell you the truth, it is not super fun. It is hard. You will feel like your brain is melting, but that feeling of difficulty, that is the sign that it is working. That is your brain muscle being challenged. Okay, step 4, the defensive wall. Step 4 is build friction-based impulse control. Willpower is not enough. Willpower is like a muscle that gets tired during the day. If you rely only on willpower to resist your phone, you will probably fail. So you have to be smarter. You have to change your environment to make your bad habits harder to do. You need to build a wall of friction between your impulse and your action. Why does this work? The reflex to grab your phone and start scrolling is fast and unconscious. Friction creates a pause. It interrupts that automatic loop. It gives the CEO of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, a second to wake up and say, hey, wait a moment. Do I really want to do this right now? Is this helping me with my goals? That little pause can change everything. So, how do you build friction? Here are some practical ideas. Delete your most addictive apps from your phone. Yes, delete them. Apps like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you need to check them, you can use the web browser on your computer. This adds a lot of friction. It is not as easy or fun to use. For the social media apps you decide to keep, move them off your home screen. Put them all into a folder and put that folder on the very last page of your phone's screens. So you have to swipe many times to even see the folder. This stops you from opening them unconsciously. Here is a great trick. Set your phone to grayscale mode. This makes the whole screen black and white. You can find this in your phone's settings, usually under accessibility. Why does this work? Because our brains are attracted to bright, shiny colors. The little red notification badges. the colorful app icons. They are all designed to give your brain a little dopamine hit. A black and white screen is boring. It is less appealing. It turns your phone from an exciting toy into a simple tool. You can also use a timed lockbox. This is a physical box. You put your phone inside, you set a timer, and it will not open until the time is up. This is great for protecting family dinner time or for when you really need to focus on a project. Every little bit of friction you add is a gift to your future self. And finally, step 5, the recovery phase. Step 5 is schedule attention recovery windows. Your brain cannot be in high focus mode all day long. It is not possible. It is like any other muscle. It needs periods of rest and recovery to get stronger. Why does this work? Constant stimulation, even low-level stimulation from our phones, leads to mental fatigue. An attention recovery window is a special time that you schedule in your day. It is dedicated time for non-stimulating activity. This allows your brain to enter what scientists call diffuse mode thinking. This is a relaxed, unfocused state, and it is very important. It is in this state that your brain consolidates memories. It moves information from short-term to long-term memory. It also makes new and creative connections between ideas. This rest period also helps to resensitize your dopamine pathways. It is like fasting from stimulation. When you do this, you will find that you get more pleasure and satisfaction from less stimulation later. A simple conversation or a beautiful sunset will feel more rewarding. So how do you do it? Schedule a 30 to 60 minute window for this every day. Put it in your calendar, just like a meeting. What do you do during this time? Go for a walk in nature. And this is important. Without headphones, no podcasts, no music, just the sounds of the world. Sit on a park bench and watch people go by. Meditate. Do some simple gardening. Or just sit and stare out a window. The key is no screens and no structured tasks. You are not trying to achieve anything. You are just being. Again, at first, this will feel very, very boring. We are not used to being bored anymore. But I want you to embrace the boredom. Lean into it. Boredom is the sound of your mind healing itself. It is the quiet space where creativity and self-reflection are born. Okay, those are the 5 steps. No scroll mornings, deep work intervals, dual and back training, building friction, and attention recovery windows. I know that 5 new habits can feel like a lot. It can feel overwhelming. So let's make it very, very simple to start. I want to issue a friendly challenge to you. The VUS 7-Day Challenge. For the next 7 days, I invite you to commit to just 3 small things. Number 1, no scrolling for the first hour of every morning, just for 7 days. Number 2, complete one focused 20-minute deep work session each day. Just 20 minutes of focused work. And number 3, spend 15 minutes doing dual and back training or another simple memory game every other day. So about 3 or 4 times in the week? That is it. That is the challenge. 1 week. I have heard from people who follow this exact simple plan. They report noticeable improvements in their mental clarity and their ability to focus. in the first week alone. So if you are ready to stop feeling foggy and distracted, if you are ready to reclaim your focus, I invite you to make a public commitment. It can help you stick to your goal. Go to the comment section below this podcast or video right now and write 3 simple words. I am in. When you declare your intention like this, it makes it more real. It increases your chances of success. Then I want you to come back here in 1 week and share your results. Tell us how you felt. What was easy? What was hard? What did you notice? Your story will inspire other people in our community. And if this episode has resonated with you, if it felt true for you, please share it with one person you know. Maybe you have a friend or a family member who you know is feeling scattered and overwhelmed. This episode could be the blueprint they need. You could be giving them a great gift, a gift of hope and a plan for change. We are living in a world, in an environment that is fighting against our brains. It is not designed for how our brains are meant to work. The brain fog, the anxiety, the feeling of constant distraction. I want you to hear me clearly. These are not your personal failings. They are a logical, predictable response to a level of digital stimulation that is completely new in human history. But here is the empowering truth. Here is the beautiful, hopeful message. Your brain is not broken. It has simply been trained. And anything that has been trained can be retrained. The amazing power of neuroplasticity that adapted your brain to a world of constant distraction. That is the very same power that you will now use to rebuild a mind of focus and clarity and strength. The science is clear. The plan is simple. Reclaiming your mind does not require a huge, dramatic change in your life. It starts with small, simple, intentional choices. Choices that you repeat every day. It starts with the choice to own your mornings again. The choice to practice focus like a muscle. The choice to build walls around your worst impulses. And the choice to schedule time for quiet, peaceful recovery. You have the ability to do this. You have the power to rebuild your attention span. The journey back to a clear and focused mind begins not tomorrow, but today. It begins with a single step. It begins with the choice to put your phone down just for a little while. And for the first time in a long time, pick up your own amazing brain. The choice starts now. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I hope this conversation was helpful for you. Remember that this is a journey. Learning and changing takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Every small step is a victory. You are doing a wonderful job. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving it a like or a follow. It helps our community to grow, and please leave a comment. Tell me your thoughts, or just say hello. I love hearing from you. Thank you again for being here. Keep going. You are capable of amazing things. I will be back soon with another episode. Until then, take good care of yourself and take good care of your wonderful brain. See you next time, my friend.